This movie tells a story about David Copperfield, played by Dev Patel, who is a young boy cast out into a harsh Victorian world when his widow of a mother marries a brutal man who essentially banishes David. Over the course of his young life, David flits between moments of happiness and tragedy as an array of colorful characters swirl around his affairs. David's processing of his own identity through his writing becomes a feature of his life too. First of all, this movie is jerky and disjointed. The direction is often surprisingly pedestrian, lacking the melodramatic force that made Dickens' work so popular and memorable across all media. The pacing is off and the film just thunders through its story. We go from his birth to the whole ordeal with his stepfather, to his mother's death and the blacking factory, and then his introduction to his aunt and Mr. Dick, not to mention the entire Mr. Micawber ordeal, all within the first half hour. There doesn't feel to be room to breathe with this film, and this is a story where this room to breathe is essential for making it work. The movie script is also surprisingly weak, with some bizarre choices here and there. A prime example is the announcement of Copperfield's mother passing on. Little things like that make little sense and feel sloppy in a way. The harsh boarding school and bottle factory to where Copperfield is sent are merged into an incoherent whole that diminishes the impact of both places. The movie decides to use the same actor, Morfydd Clark, as both David's mother and later wife, but having done that, it's essential that we see him losing both of these vulnerable figures to perceive the cyclical sadness from which David struggles to escape. And it's this sense that the movie's decisions have seen it lose the novel's dramatic power that restricts its overall effect. This movie also plays out like a stage play. Actors literally walk on and off like they are entering and exiting stage. The heightened technique adds busyness to what is already an incredibly rushed narrative. It often feels forced. At this pace, the jokes are missing the context they need to really land. This pace also reduces young Copperfield to an object being bounced from scene to scene and character to character. In the end, the movie overreaches itself with the idiosyncratic elements it tries to incorporate, and through the sheer difficulty in condensing a dense narrative into a 2-hour feature film format. If you haven't read the source material or watched the original film, then you will likely be lost. Taking away previous material, these films feel incoherent. The audiences would not know what was going on just by watching this version. It's also very rushed, has a weak script, and loses most of the original story's heart. This movie is a disappointment.